we're here today with Jill Hahn, who is a candidate for Vanderburgh County Council at Large. Also joining us in the conversation today are Tara Barney, the President and CEO of the Southwest Indiana Chamber, and John Briscoe, who is one of our Chamber Government Affairs Committee members. I'll turn the conversation over to Tara for the interview.
Thanks, Sally, and thanks for being with us, Jill. We know this is a tricky time in choosing to campaign, but we sure appreciate your interest in serving this community. So I'd like to start off with a question that won't surprise you, because the County Council is in the business of managing the budget for our county. And I know that the pandemic has adjusted some of the revenue streams. And I'd like your thoughts on your priorities and what you see as the areas that you'd want to either protect the current funding levels or increase, and what you might think about some opportunities to contract if the county needs to in other parts of the budget.
Well, first of all, I teach government and economics and college government and economics. So I was really, I stay attuned to all the policies and everything. And I was saddened to see that it looks like Showplace Cinemas, we're losing them here locally as due to the pandemic, except for the East Side. And that is one of the things that is important to a growing economy, is to try to keep property taxes as low as possible. Obviously, part of the job of a county councilman is to keep revenues, because that's how you pay your roads and your tax. You pay your roads and bridges and jails, etc. And but yet at the same time, you got to increase the people that come into your community, and you got to keep that interest in vital. And so first of all, I would like to keep property taxes low. I'm very big about small businesses being the backbone of our community, as well as the large businesses. But obviously at this point in time, we're very concerned about jobs. And with jobs come the stability for your community. And if you have strong jobs, you have a good education, you have a good public recreational facilities. Everything is literally on the backs of people's jobs. So my first priority would be try to keep the property taxes as low as possible and keep things moving forward.
Well, most people that get a tax bill will appreciate that. So thank you. John, you want to?
Yeah. From job growth to population growth. So the next question we have, the business and civic community have set goals to increase population in our region, and really focusing on a population growth from that 20 to 34-year-old age group. What sort of programs or infrastructure investments do you believe can be made up to help attract more people to the region?
Before the COVID struck, we were really moving in the right direction. We had full employment, the lowest we've seen in decades. And we are headed in the right direction with getting the nightlife and the restaurants back to downtown Evansville, especially getting that vitality and growth. As a coordinator of Shepherd Academy and teaching college economics, I've actually every year taken my students to downtown Evansville for a government day and economics day, where we talk to Old National Bank and talk about all the investments that our city of Evansville is making for our young people. And after that, I normally meet with realtors, and we go through the downtown apartment complexes, showing them just how we are bringing back the things that young singles and young families, really every generation, we're bringing back something for everyone. And so I really here locally try to stop the brain drain from happening. I hope our political census of 2020 shows population growth, because I really believe in getting good good opportunities for entertainment and nightlife and wonderful restaurants and things like that coming back to Evansville.
Good.
Thank you. I'll stay on that topic a little bit because the County Council plays a very significant role in guiding and approving economic development incentives. And as you consider future development projects, what do you think are the most important things to think about as you're looking at a business that's asking for incentives? And are there things that you'd see as important in considering those requests to basically use taxpayer resources to help these businesses get started?
So you're asking, I'm sorry, I had a little bit of a hard time hearing that. You're asking about incentives?
Yeah, because the County Council has a pretty big role in approving that. And so
Absolutely.
I'd love to know your thoughts on how you look at those and what things are priorities from you.
Well, I think you have to obviously weigh the cost and the benefits of how many jobs are we creating? What kind of job growth are we talking about? Obviously, incentives are always wonderful. If you're talking about bringing Google into Evansville, wow, that would be spectacular. But, really, my husband runs his father's business of 45 years, a very small business. We're 10 people employed. Thankfully, due to COVID, it's in construction. So we've been working on that. In fact, we were fortunate to get enough to have the Mesker Park Zoo Mayor Winnicke's penguin exhibit. And so that was a great job that we could do during COVID. But I really understand how both small and large businesses, no matter whether you're employing 10 people or 20,000 people, you got to work with the employers. You got to see what it comes down to the cost and benefits of, you have to have that, those new companies, especially maybe even higher tech, because we're moving in that direction with our students, with our young people. But at the same time, I also see where we have to have jobs of all creation, whether they're electricians and plumbers and those kind of, the focus on those kinds of jobs as well. So you just really have to weigh each company and for what it has to offer. And of course, try to generate as much new income as possible for those tax dollars.
Well, I appreciate that. As a business community, we've certainly seen that we have a disconnect between our wages in some parts of our region and our ability to help families move out of poverty. And so we, like you, are probably conflicted about how we advance that, but we appreciate having your perspective on that.
Well, I teach all demographics and all populations. I've been a teacher for quite some time, so that is really a forte of mine that I bring to the table, is I understand all levels of incomes and whether ethnics and all that kind of things. I'm here at Harrison High School, and some of our students really struggle at that, and especially right now. So I understand that, and I understand how we have to get those jobs for everyone.
Well, thank you, Jill. John?
Good. Yeah. So this kind of opens it up a little bit more for discussion now. So as we look at going forward, what is your priority issue you plan to champion during your term on the council?
Well, one of the things I bring to the table is, I know the jail issue is a big issue right now with overpopulation. As an educator, I have written quite a few grants because of the Shepherd Academy, which I've now been here the director of for 7 years. We do not get any funding at all. So I have had to financially raise every single penny. And one of the things that I have that I think we really need in our city is grant writing to not only fund any kind of future projects, but also to start answering some of the questions that we need to get as far as maybe increasing the expansion of our jail, or whether it's having new road projects or anything like that. I've written a lot of grants. I've been very successful in writing grants, and I hope that will help a great deal, because I have learned that there is a lot of state and federal grant money that has not been utilized, that if you learn where to find it, many times it's there for the taking.
Well, we support that notion, that's for sure. Because I think that there are always creative ways to fund things, and it is a
Well, you know, when you're dealing,
sorry, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. One of the things that you have to do, whether you're an educator or whether you're dealing with the community, you have to start thinking outside the box. And sometimes we get in those ruts, and sometimes our politicians, you know, sometimes I don't care who you are, we get stuck in a rut. And so sometimes we have to do that. So that's where I'm hoping to provide that opportunity.
Well, thanks so much for not only standing for election, but spending some time with us, because it takes a lot of gumption to do it, and we appreciate you doing so. So we wish you the best of luck, and we hope this is a helpful conversation.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yes, this has been an interesting election to throw my name in the ring. So of all years to get involved, but I appreciate it. And I hope everyone, if you have any further questions, I do have a website, friendsforjillhahn.com. And if you want to check me out there or on Facebook for further information, I welcome it. Thank you, guys.
That sounds great. Thank you, Jill.
All right. Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, John.
Thanks.